A breaking news update flashes across the screen. An S-class mage, Lee Seo-jun, has fallen in battle. The man watching from his couch is in utter disbelief. The hero of the nation, killed in action. He was a celebrity, beloved by the public. But the broadcast is abruptly cut short. The viewer sits in stunned silence, remote in hand. He questions how the protagonist could possibly die. Wait, the protagonist? This guy's breaking the fourth wall already. He begins to explain the impossible situation. Lee Seo-jun wasn't just any hero. He was a genius mage, a whirlwind of power. A legend celebrated by the entire world. But there's a much bigger secret at play. He was the main character of a novel called Modern Mage. A novel that became this man's reality. Our boy had a simple plan. Let the story reach its happy ending and go home. But the plot took a dark, unexpected turn. The final boss wasn't supposed to win. He's left wondering why the script was suddenly changed, and what this means for his own fate. We flash back to a simpler time. A night out with friends, debating a familiar hypothetical. One friend would steal the spotlight in a heartbeat, but our guy, Kim Sun-woo, thinks that's a terrible idea. He argues that trying to be the hero is a death wish, because the protagonist's journey is anything but easy. His friends call him annoyingly practical, but he's not wrong. As they toast, his phone buzzes in his pocket. It's a message about his new job placement. He celebrates with his friends, ecstatic. And just like that, 7 years ago, his life took a very strange turn. He was somehow pulled into the world of Modern Mage. His plan was simple, stay on the sidelines. But now the world itself is glitching out. He wonders why this is happening again. He approaches the screen for a closer look, and is thrown back by what he sees. The TV isn't showing a broadcast anymore. It's showing the world outside his window. His eyes widen in pure terror, because outside people are simply disappearing. The entire street is dissolving into purple dust, vanishing as if they were never there. He screams, demanding an explanation for the madness, and an answer appears before him. A system window confirms his worst fear. With the protagonist gone, the story has failed. The system announces a full world reset, and Kim Sun-woo begins to crack like glass. His reality shatters into a million pieces, until a voice screams him back to consciousness. He wakes up on a bus, the driver yelling at him. Talk about a rude awakening. He stammers an apology, completely disoriented. The last thing he remembers was his room. He steps off the bus, wondering if it was all a dream. The bright sunlight stings his eyes. He's standing before the Mage Academy, right at the start of the novel. He recognizes the admission notice for the academy. But the date is all wrong. 2032 was 7 years ago. A horrifying thought begins to dawn on him. He looks down at his younger body, his old uniform. He's been sent back in time. An announcement echoes through the hall. The entrance ceremony is about to begin. Kim Sun-woo can barely keep it together. Talk about a rough first day. Everything is exactly as he remembers it. He has no choice but to accept his new reality. But his mind is stuck on one crucial question. Why did the hero Lee Seo-jun die? The final boss going berserk was part of the script. And Lee Seo-jun was supposed to win that fight, which means something else must have gone wrong. He scrambles for an answer but finds none. He looks around at the other students, blissfully unaware, and a chilling new possibility takes root. What if the protagonist dies in this timeline too? Will he just get another reset? Or will this be the final permanent end of the world? Looking at the unsuspecting crowd, one thing becomes clear. Lee Seo-jun must not be allowed to die. This time, Kim Sun-woo has to make a move. He clenches his fist, his resolve hardening. He will save the hero and see this story to its proper end. To do that, his first step is clear. Time to make some friends. He walks up to one of the novel's key characters and offers a friendly, if slightly awkward, greeting. She looks up, completely unimpressed by his approach. She demands to know what he's staring at and tells him to look away. Kim Sun-woo realizes this is going to be tough. Just then, an announcement calls for the year representatives. 3 students walk up the aisle toward the stage. The top students from each year stand before the crowd. Among them is the man himself, Lee Seo-jun, the hero of the story, already a celebrity at the academy. Next is the top freshman, Han Soo-young, a girl known for her stunning looks and charm. But Kim Sun-woo knows it's all a calculated act. And finally, the third-year representative, a minor character he barely remembers from the novel. The ceremony proceeds with the student oath. The 3 representatives raise their hands. Kim Sun-woo watches from his seat, an idea forming. He clenches his fist, sensing an opportunity. He can feel the intense frustration from the girl beside him. So he leans in, deciding to test the waters. She turns to him, her gaze burning with irritation. He asks if she's frustrated, and she demands to know why she would be. He looks toward the stage with a confident gaze and tells her he thinks she's better than the two up there. She scoffs at his baseless claim, demanding to know why he'd say something so foolish. He simply says he can tell just by looking at her, because he's got good instincts. A classic pickup line, I'm sure. Her expression darkens, her patience completely gone. She grabs him by the collar, absolutely furious, and our boy immediately tries to change the subject. He asks if she's worried about her future, hitting a nerve. She reads his name tag, committing it to memory. Her eyes glow as she warns him to stay away. Kim Sun-woo recoils, realizing he miscalculated. Well, his plan to make friends is off to a fantastic start. The semester begins with an evaluation test to establish ranks. The other students are already panicking about the test. One student confidently boasts about his goals, but Kim Sun-woo remembers his past life as a seasoned mage. He smirks, ready to show them the skills of a true professional. The test begins and Han Soo-young steps up first. She unleashes a blinding torrent of lightning magic. The spell surges toward the training dummies and shatters them into a million pieces. The crowd is stunned by her overwhelming power. Next, the second-year students are called to the stage. The girl from before, Yu Ah-ra, conjures a sphere of fire. She unleashes a devastating wave of flame across the arena. The other students can't believe she's the same age as them. They whisper that she's legendary, second only to Lee Seo-jun. And then the hero himself takes the stage, materializing a sword. He moves in a blur of speed and precision. The training dummies don't stand a chance. He unleashes a flurry of attacks, wiping them all out instantly. He glances back, the test already over. Kim Sun-woo watches the display from the stands. He admits to himself that Yu Ah-ra is skilled, but Lee Seo-jun is already on the level of a pro. The announcer calls out the next name, Kim Sun-woo. He rises with a confident grin, ready for his turn. The instructors in the stands don't even recognize his name. One of them checks his file, noting his past talent in enhancement magic. She assumes he must have switched his specialty to manifestation. Down in the arena, Kim Sun-woo begins to gather mana in his palm. At first, his display seems completely ordinary to the teachers. But then, one of them notices the truth of what he's doing. He's using compressed manifestation, an incredibly advanced technique. It's a skill that should be far beyond a mere student's reach. Even Yu Ah-ra and Lee Seo-jun are stunned by the display. With a confident grin, Kim Sun-woo unleashes the full force of his spell. But the recoil sends him flying backward into the air. The spell completely misses its target, fizzling out harmlessly. The crowd is silent until one student can't hold back a laugh. Soon, the entire hall erupts in mockery. He realizes he's just made a complete fool of himself. Well, that's one way to make an impression. But just then, a familiar blue window appears before him. System notifications begin flooding his vision. He's completely shocked, wondering why this is happening now. Later that night, he sits alone in his room contemplating the day's events. He questions why the system activated at that specific moment. He knows something about this timeline has already changed. The system confirms his special status. The outsider's benefit is now active. The main scenario has officially begun, and he's already earning points. He's also earned the Talent of a Clown achievement. Ouch! His very public humiliation has earned him even more points. But his failure also caught the attention of Lee Seo-jun and other key characters. In total, he's racked up a massive number of points in a single afternoon. He realizes this was the key to unlocking his special abilities, a perk available only to him, the one who doesn't belong to this world. By completing achievements, he can gain the power he needs to change the story. The system explains that the more famous he becomes, the more points he'll earn. And the best part of this outsider's benefit is the point shop. It's a literal cheat setting where he can buy skills, traits, and items. Stacking up points is great, but one thing still bothers him. The system really had to call him a clown, didn't it? He'd completely forgotten how little mana his younger body had. Still, combining his past life and this one, it's the most attention he's ever received. He wonders just how strong he is right now, so he decides to check his status window. But what he sees leaves him speechless. His stats have been completely reset to their base levels. He panics, wondering how long it will take to grind them back up. But then a new thought calms his nerves. He can just redistribute his stats properly this time. In this world, there are 4 main types of magic. Enhancement magic strengthens the body and weapons for close combat. Manifestation is the classic style of materializing and firing spells. And summoning and support are exactly what they sound like. He remembers choosing manifestation simply because it looked cool. Priorities, right? He chuckles at his younger self's simple logic. As a manifestation mage, he knows he needs to prioritize his mana statty. Just then, another system window pops into view. His fame has grown, earning him another 2,000 points. He's stunned by how quickly the number is rising. He can't believe that acting like a fool just once has turned into an absolute jackpot. But as he looks closer, something doesn't add up. How do more people than the entire student body already know his face? A horrifying possibility dawns on him as he grabs his phone. He quickly opens the Academy's online community board, and he's found the perfect way to make a killing. The next day, he walks into the Academy to a chorus of whispers. He's the guy from the video, and he's soaking up every second of it. It turns out he spent all night stirring up trouble on the forums. He posted the video of his failure himself, and the points are rolling in. Shameless but effective. With his newfound fame, he steps toward the classroom. He peeks inside, ready for his grand entrance. The entire class turns to stare as he walks in. A finger points directly at him from across the room. It belongs to a blonde-haired punk with a smug grin. The guy throws an arm around him, mocking his spectacular failure. His friends join in, laughing at Kim Sun-woo's expense. Kim Sun-woo recognizes him as Park In-hwan, the novel's resident bully. His first instinct is to just keep his head down and stay out of it. But Park In-hwan isn't done, threatening him to be his new errand boy. Just then, a hand shoves the bully aside. Lee Seo-jun has stepped in, telling him to back off. Park In-hwan is clearly not happy about the interruption. He scoffs at the hero for trying to save the day. But Lee Seo-jun's cold stare is all the warning he needs. The bully backs down, taking his crew and leaving. Lee Seo-jun turns his attention to Kim Sun-woo. He asks if he's all right after the confrontation. He recognizes him, mentioning the video from yesterday. Kim Sun-woo puts on an embarrassed act, playing the victim. He's mortified that his plan to go viral worked a little too well. Lee Seo-jun tells him not to worry, blaming the person who spread the clip. Oh, the irony. The hero turns to walk away, his good deed for the day done. But Kim Sun-woo grabs his arm, stopping him in his tracks. He looks down, an offer forming on his lips. He asks Lee Seo-jun to be on his team for the upcoming dungeon class. The hero is taken aback, questioning why he would ever agree. Kim Sun-woo leans in with a sly grin, promising it's a good deal for him too. Lee Seo-jun considers the strange proposal for a moment, but he quickly dismisses it, stating he's never considered him a teammate. Kim Sun-woo stops him, insisting he has two very good reasons. Intrigued by his confidence, Lee Seo-jun agrees to hear him out. His first point, he's ranked dead last in the entire second year. Lee Seo-jun can't help but laugh at the absurd sales pitch. Kim Sun-woo explains the system of adjustment points for joint tests. By partnering with the worst student, the top student can get a better score. The hero understands the logic, but still thinks the risk is far too high. So Kim Sun-woo moves on to his second point. He reveals that their rival, Yu Ah-ra, has already recruited 2 low-rankers. Lee Seo-jun is surprised to hear this tactical move. Kim Sun-woo points out that her wide-area magic makes it an easy strategy for her. Lee Seo-jun has to admit that his logic is sound. But then Kim Sun-woo holds up a third finger, confusing the hero. His third and final reason is simply him. He confidently states his skills are surprisingly good for a last-place student. A glint of pure determination shines in his eye. Lee Seo-jun finally cracks, laughing at his sheer audacity. He agrees to the team up, much to Kim Sun-woo's delight. Guess the clown routine has its perks. But the hero adds that he has one condition. He'll be the one to choose the rest of their team members. A system window confirms his success, awarding him another 2,000 points. Kim Sun-woo smiles, everything going exactly according to plan. Later, in a lecture hall, a class on the history of magic is underway. The professor drones on as most of the students doze off in their seats. She asks the class a question about why the old magic system collapsed. But Kim Sun-woo's hand shoots up, eager to answer. The other students whisper, mocking the last-place student for trying so hard. He fires back, telling them to answer if they're so jealous. The professor ignores the chatter and dismisses the class for lunch. The students begin to file out of the lecture hall. Just then, a voice calls out Kim Sun-woo's name. He turns around, surprised to see who it is. Lee Seo-jun suggests they eat together to celebrate becoming a team. The camera pans over a standard yet surprisingly appetizing cafeteria meal. The two walk through the crowded hall, looking for a place to sit. Suddenly, a pair of hands waves wildly in the air. A student calls out to Lee Seo-jun from across the room. Kim Sun-woo immediately recognizes the face, Shin Young-jun. He's one of the novel's major characters, and Lee Seo-jun's best friend. Shin Young-jun explains that the top rankers have all split up for this test. The 2 new teammates approach his table. Shin Young-jun points, recognizing Kim Sun-woo from the infamous video. He asks when they got so close, and Lee Seo-jun explains their new partnership. The best friend is utterly baffled by this turn of events. He whispers to Lee Seo-jun, questioning why he'd bother with the adjustment buff. Lee Seo-jun simply shakes his head, mentioning that Yu Ah-ra is getting serious. Shin Young-jun is shocked to hear she's also teamed up with low rankers. Deciding to drop it for now, Lee Seo-jun suggests they just eat. From a nearby table, a girl with light brown hair notices their group. Her red eyes are fixed on them with a look of quiet curiosity. Her friend asks what she's staring at. The girl Seo-yoon quickly plays it off like it's nothing, but her gaze lingers on the unlikely trio. She silently wonders how the last-place student got so close to the hero. Elsewhere, students are already back in the training hall, honing their skills. He decides to try again, this time with a controllable amount of mana. A sphere of energy forms between his hands. He unleashes a controlled beam across the training hall. The blast of magic flies true toward its target. The other students whisper, surprised he's not completely useless. He smirks, letting them know he can hear every word. Yeah, the bar was pretty low. Back in his room, he reflects on his past life strategy. He used to just buy stats like there was no tomorrow, but he quickly learned that the price increases exponentially. A harsh lesson in gacha game economics. He strokes his chin, thinking of a better way. This time, he'll invest in long-term growth instead. He opens the system shop and searches for mana. Scrolling through the list, he looks for a specific trait from the novel. And there it is. Protection of Great Nature. A passive trait that absorbs mana from the environment. He also equips the Returner's Wristwatch, an item that boosts his stamina and mana regeneration by 200%. He afforded these by selling an inherited Master Chef trait, a true sacrifice for the cause. He clenches his fist, mourning his lost cooking skills. But with these new tools, his starting point is far stronger than before. Suddenly, his phone vibrates in his pocket. He pulls it out, not expecting any messages. He looks at the screen with a puzzled expression. He's been added to a group chat with his new teammates. He scans the names, only recognizing Yoon Ha-young. He recalls that she becomes an important character later on, but right now her true power is still dormant. One of the members, Young Jin-tae, kicks off the conversation. The others quickly introduce their magic specialties. The instructor offers some advice to Yoon Ha-young. She tells her to focus less on control and more on raw power. Yoon Ha-young gathers a sphere of intense fire magic and unleashes it in a devastating blast. The other students are stunned by her innate talent, but the teacher knows that for all her power, she still needs refinement. Her gaze then shifts to Kim Sun-woo's practice session. She's surprised by what she sees. He fires a perfectly controlled beam of light. She has to admit, the last-place student is surprisingly good. Kim Sun-woo celebrates his small victory. Looks like practice pays off. The instructor recalls his disastrous first attempt during the evaluation. But now he's executing the spell with minimal mana and perfect control. She's impressed that he identified and fixed his own flaws so quickly. A proud smile spreads across her face. With that, she officially ends the specialty class for the day. The students thank her for the lesson. They're all exhausted but relieved to be done. But just as Kim Sun-woo is about to leave, she calls his name. She approaches him, asking about his training regimen. She then asks about his mana cultivation. He realizes she's noticed his low mana pool. He nervously confirms that he's been practicing. She points out his biggest weakness, his mana capacity. He promises to work harder to improve it. But she stops him, holding out a small gift. It's a bracelet designed to help with mana breathing. He's hesitant to accept such an item from her. But she insists, explaining it's just a cheap practice tool. He walks off, pleased with his unexpected loot. But as he walks, he spots a familiar face leaning against a wall. It's Yu Ah-ra, and she's already glaring in his direction. He nervously asks if it's okay for her to talk to him now. She cuts straight to the point, asking how he teamed up with Lee Seo-jun. She accuses him of trying to ride the hero's coattails, and declares that first place is going to be hers this time. She tells him to wake up from his dream. Well, that's one way to start a rivalry. With her warning delivered, she turns and walks away. Kim Sun-woo is left wondering why she's so incredibly intense. The next morning, the students gather before the entrance to the dungeon. Kim Sun-woo sprints to meet his team, arriving just in time. Lee Seo-jun rallies the group, ready for their first real test. The others cheer, their spirits high for the challenge ahead. One of his teammates, Young Jin-tae, points out their unique roster. He jokes that they have both the first and last place students together. He then asks Kim Sun-woo if he can even do well after his last performance. And just like that, our boy realizes he was definitely being sarcastic. Lee Seo-jun steps in, assuring everyone that he'll carry the team. Kim Sun-woo isn't exactly thrilled with that vote of confidence. He knows his presence has already changed the team's original lineup. He wonders if this new combination will be enough to succeed. The students take their positions, ready for the briefing. An instructor steps forward to explain the rules of the dungeon exploration. He informs them that for the first day, they'll only be clearing the first floor. He then moves on to the scoring system for the class. The first factor is dungeon clear speed, the faster the better. The second is the rank adjustment score, which is exactly what Kim Sun-woo planned for. And the third and final factor is individual contribution. The dungeon will track how much each member helps their team. With the rules explained, the students are sent into the dungeon as monitors flicker to life in a control room. The instructors greet a colleague who's just arrived in the control room. One of them suggests a friendly wager on the top scoring team, but the others complain that everyone will just bet on Yu Ah-ra's group. The instructor with glasses adjusts her frames with a knowing look. She declares the bet is on because she's backing Lee Seo-jun's team. Her colleague points out that both teams are using the same strategy, but she explains that Lee Seo-jun's team is far more unstable. As an enhancement mage, he's at a disadvantage against large groups. Meanwhile, Yu Ah-ra's wide area magic is clearing the floor with ease. Still, she smiles, putting her faith in the rebellion of the last-place student. Nothing like a good underdog story. Inside the dungeon, Lee Seo-jun cuts down a monster with a single strike. The team ventures deeper into the vine-covered ruins. They follow their leader, their confidence growing with every step. The others marvel at how easily Lee Seo-jun is handling the monsters. They begin to speculate about the first-floor boss. Yoon Ha-young seems a bit more worried than the rest. She asks Kim Sun-woo what he thinks, and he calmly predicts a giant wolf. His teammate grabs him, demanding to know how he knew that. Young Jin-tae scoffs, convinced he's just making things up. He mocks Kim Sun-woo, who just shrugs it off. Teenage drama. Lee Seo-jun steps in, telling them to stop bickering and move on. The team continues their advance through the dungeon, but Kim Sun-woo suddenly calls for them to halt. Lee Seo-jun stops, his eyes fixed on something on the ground. The rest of the team looks on, confused by the sudden stop. He points to a glowing magic circle etched into the stone floor. The others grow nervous, wondering if it's some kind of trap. Kim Sun-woo examines the circle with a calm, analytical gaze. He explains that it's just a simple barrier, nothing to worry about, because he remembers seeing this exact same barrier in his past life. Young Jin-tae scoffs, pretending he knew all along. The others worry that their path is completely blocked. But Lee Seo-jun steps forward, ready to solve it with his sword. His eyes glow with golden light as he focuses his power. He unleashes a powerful slash against the magical wall. The barrier cracks but refuses to shatter completely. The team looks on, hoping his attack was enough, but they're left disappointed as the barrier holds firm. So close, yet so magically far. Lee Seo-jun admits that it's tougher than he expected. Just then, young Jin-tae decides it's his time to step up. He proudly announces that he's a support class mage. He kneels down, placing his hand on the glowing circle. His fingers trace the intricate magical runes, but his confident expression quickly fades to panic. He stammers that it might take him 40 minutes to solve. Kim Sun-woo pushes him aside, offering to try it himself. The others are shocked by his sudden intervention. He places his hands on the circle, ignoring their protests, and begins to channel his own mana into the barrier. His unique outsider's benefit trait immediately activates. The system begins to interpret the complex magic formula. The ancient runes appear before him as a jumbled mess, but he quickly begins to decipher the hidden message. His eyes glow as he understands the barrier's true nature. The characters rearrange themselves under his command, and the full inscription is finally revealed. With a final touch, he deactivates the ancient trap. The barrier dissolves into a shower of harmless blue light. He turns back to his team with a triumphant grin. They stare in disbelief, stunned by his hidden talent. The system confirms that Lee Seo-jun now favors him. He's earned 5,000 points for raising the hero's interest. Kim Sun-woo wonders what this new interest-level mechanic is. Just then, a heavy paw steps into view. A massive wolf with glowing red eyes appears at the top of the stairs. It's the first floor boss, the giant wolf, just as he predicted. The others are shocked that Kim Sun-woo was right. The beast leaps down, lunging straight for the team. But Lee Seo-jun's eyes glow with golden power. He meets the attack head-on with a flash of his sword, and in a single, fluid motion, the boss is defeated. Kim Sun-woo watches, impressed by the hero's skill. He thinks to himself that Lee Seo-jun makes it look easy. With the boss gone, the exit doors slowly creak open. The team walks out, celebrating their successful clear. An instructor greets them, announcing their final rank. They've secured second place for the first week. Lee Seo-jun immediately asks who took first. The instructor reveals it was Yu Ah-ra's team, who finished 30 minutes faster. A confident smirk spreads across Lee Seo-jun's face. The rivalry is officially on. His teammates check the results, shocked by the time difference. They worry that they're already falling behind, but Lee Seo-jun places a hand on Kim Sun-woo's shoulder. He gives him full credit for their second-place finish. He admits that without his help, they would have been much slower. Lee Seo-jun takes the blame, saying he should have done better. But the team rallies around him, their morale still high. Just then, a voice calls out Kim Sun-woo's name. He turns to see the teacher from the support department. She has a serious offer for him. His teammates wonder why he would ever reject such a golden opportunity. They all agree, saying he's terrible at manifestation magic anyway. The teacher asks one last time if he's sure about his choice. Kim Sun-woo turns back, his decision already made. Even Yu Ah-ra watches from the crowd, intrigued by the commotion. He politely declines, insisting that manifestation is where he belongs. Yu Ah-ra is left completely stunned by his unwavering confidence. The scene shifts to another part of the academy. A girl with light brown hair walks along an empty hallway. Her red eyes catch a glimpse of someone below. She stops, recognizing the student from the recent rumors. It's Kim Sun-woo, who's decided to mop the floors for some reason. She calls out to him, getting his name slightly wrong. He corrects her as she asks why he's cleaning. He simply says the floor looked dirty, so he took care of it. She praises him for his unexpected kindness. With a wave, she tells him to keep up the good work. But as she walks away, her friendly demeanor completely vanishes. A system window confirms he's earned the Secret Helper achievement. He looks at the notification, knowing he can't admit he did it for the points. Gotta love a good old-fashioned achievement grind. With the cleaning finished, he picks up his bucket and walks off, humming a cheerful tune. But from around a corner, someone watches him with a knowing smile. Later, in a lecture hall, a class on monster types is in session. The professor points to a holographic image of a demonic beast. He explains that the most dangerous monsters are the demonic humans. He then asks the class if anyone knows why. Kim Sun-woo answers, stating it's because they're impossible to distinguish from normal people. The professor smiles, confirming he's right. Kim Sun-woo listens intently as the term demonic humans echoes in his mind. He clenches his fist, remembering a key event from the novel. A demonic human is set to appear this weekend. It's an episode where Lee Seo-jun becomes a hero once again. He knows the protagonist can handle it on his own, but just in case, he decides to check for any variables. He also realizes he'll need money to follow the hero around. Later, he sits down to focus on his own training. He begins to cultivate his mana, a green aura surrounding him. The energy swirls into a concentrated sphere. His protection of great nature trait kicks in. System windows confirm his mana and proficiency are rising. Looks like his investment is already paying dividends. He stretches, satisfied with his progress. He's accumulated a decent amount of mana. He glances over his shoulder as a new notification appears. His blessing of great nature has leveled up, and a new active effect has been unlocked. He can now use the Heart of Great Nature. He smiles, knowing he made the right choice. The skill offers a massive mana recovery boost for 1 minute. He feels confident that he's truly meant for manifestation magic. He knows he only dispelled that barrier thanks to his cheat system. Still, he sighs, thinking about the scholarship he turned down. He checks his bank account, and the number is painfully low. He slumps to the floor, defeated by his financial situation. He wonders if there's any easy way to make some quick cash. Dungeon diving is far too dangerous for a student, and climbing the tower requires a license he can't get. He's completely out of options, until a brilliant and probably reckless idea pops into his head. Meanwhile, in the teacher's lounge, a new topic of conversation has emerged. The manifestation teacher proudly defends her students' loyalty. She gloats to the support teacher, confident in Kim Sun-woo's choice. The other instructors agree, praising his pleasant and hard-working nature. But Kim Sun-woo has found a clever loophole in the rules. A plan so simple it's almost brilliant, and his good reputation earns him another achievement. He's shocked by the unexpected bonus points. He immediately opens the point shop, ready to spend his earnings. He finds exactly what he needs, a high-priced item. His goal? To make some serious cash no matter what it takes. The weekend arrives and his plan is set in motion. He arrives at a secure facility, completely disguised. The guard stops him, demanding to see his license. Kim Sun-woo calmly reaches into his jacket and presents a perfectly legitimate-looking ID. The name on the card reads Kim Jin-woo, a 25-year-old C-class mage. The guard examines it closely, his expression unreadable. He runs it through a verification scanner. Kim Sun-woo tries to keep his cool, but his nerves are shot. Guess forging government documents is a little stressful, but the scanner confirms the identity without a hitch. The guard welcomes him, completely fooled by the ruse. He breathes a silent sigh of relief. His point shop purchase a success. Everything is going exactly as planned. He recalls buying the customizable identity from the shop, a special item that bypasses the world's unforgeable security. Combined with his magically dyed hair and glasses, his disguise is perfect. With his new identity secured, he's ready for the next step. His destination is the Tower of Proof, a stepping stone to his real goal. He steps through the glowing entrance of the tower. A voice echoes through the hall, welcoming him to his first trial. The system informs him the tower is cleared up to the 27th floor. It asks him to choose his destination. He selects the 10th floor, even though the system warns him it's already been cleared. But he's not here for the standard rewards. The story explains that portals are a common feature in these towers. Each tower is unique with its own set of challenges. The monsters within can vary wildly in strength, and the traps can be deceptively difficult. He arrives on the 10th floor, ready to begin. This particular tower is known for its peculiar difficulty, and a pair of glowing red eyes greets him from the shadows. A massive three-eyed wolf steps into the light. It lunges forward, ready to attack. But Kim Sun-woo effortlessly counters with a blast of his own. He earns the first hunt achievement for his trouble. Another day, another 1,000 points. He knows this tower's focus on magic formulas plays right into his hands. He checks his watch, confident he can clear it in time. With the first monster down, he continues his advance. Meanwhile, back in the city, a crowd gathers by the Han River. Among them are Lee Seo-jun and his friend Shin Young-jun. His friend suggests they take a picture to commemorate the day. But Lee Seo-jun isn't exactly thrilled with the idea. The camera flashes capturing the moment. Back in the tower, Kim Sun-woo unleashes another powerful spell. The monster dissolves, leaving a magic stone in its place. He picks it up, joking that it'll at least cover his bus fare. But he's not here for monster drops, he's looking for something else. His hand glows as he finds a hidden mechanism in the wall. He presses his palm against the stone, and a hidden passage begins to reveal itself. The system confirms his success, awarding him another achievement. He's transported to a hidden floor, a world of pure mystic mana. He grins, knowing he's found exactly what he was looking for. A voice echoes through the ethereal space. It asks if he can prove his worth to the tower. The eyes of a stone statue seem to glow with ancient power. Kim Sun-woo is suddenly pushed back by an invisible force. He finds himself in a garden of glowing flowers, and he's immediately swarmed by a group of tiny winged creatures. He recognizes them as flower fairies. They're only C rank, so they shouldn't be much of a threat, but their sharp-toothed grins suggest otherwise. Never judge a book by its terrifying cover. The fairies descend upon him in a frenzy. One of them unleashes a blast of magical energy. Kim Sun-woo gathers his own mana, knowing speed is his only advantage. He fires a wide area spell, hoping to catch them all at once. One of the fairies is knocked out of the sky. He kneels down, placing his hands on a glowing magic circle. But he realizes that simply defeating the monsters isn't the real test. The statue's voice confirms his suspicion. So he activates his unique trait, the Outsider's Benefit. The tower's magic formula appears before him as a jumbled mess. The circle on the ground begins to glow with immense power. He deciphers the ancient text, understanding the tower's true challenge. With a confident grin, he accepts the trial. He declares that his ability to interpret this formula is his proof. It's the very power that makes him an outsider in this world. The tower acknowledges his unique skill, bestowing a blessing upon him, and he's granted a new adaptive trait, Proof of the Tower. A selection of incredible rewards appears before him. Looks like cheating the system has its perks. The trait grants him a permanent boost to his stats. A system window confirms he's cleared the hidden floor. Meanwhile, Lee Seo-jun watches the fireworks with his friend. He suddenly stops, showing his friend something on his phone. It's the picture they took just a few moments ago. But in the background, a suspicious figure lurks in the crowd. Shin Young-jun's eyes widen in shock. He recognizes the man as a demonic human. Looks like the plot is right on schedule. Back in the tower, Kim Sun-woo spots a familiar figure outside. He glances at a nearby clock tower. It's almost 9:30, the exact time of the incident. He wonders why the hero hasn't arrived to stop it yet. The demonic human stumbles through a nearby park. Its eyes glow with a sinister red light. Kim Sun-woo debates whether he should step in himself, but he hesitates, afraid of changing the main story. Just then, a bystander approaches the creature, asking if it's okay. The demonic human's face twists into a monstrous snarl. Kim Sun-woo watches in horror, unable to intervene. A spray of red covers the ground. The kind stranger is struck down. The demonic human grabs him by the collar. Its eyes burn with pure, unadulterated rage. The man is thrown through the air with incredible force. He hits the ground, motionless. The demonic human's body begins to contort and expand. Its eyes glow, its humanity completely gone. It transforms into a hulking, monstrous beast. A nearby woman freezes in terror. The monster turns its attention to its next victim. The crowd panics, realizing a demonic human has gone berserk. Kim Sun-woo tightens his grip on his weapon. He knows this is no time to hesitate. He sprints toward the monster as the woman looks on in terror. Regardless of the story, he has to save people first. Elsewhere, an agent from the Mage Association examines the reported photo. He confirms the man's identity, a counter-terrorism agent named Jung Hyun-soo. He asks Lee Seo-jun if the picture was taken nearby. The agent explains that these creatures get stronger the more blood they absorb. Lee Seo-jun's face pales at the grim reality of the situation. Suddenly, the agent senses a massive surge of magic and points the way. Back at the park, the crowd wonders if they're truly safe. The woman begs for her life as Kim Sun-woo appears behind the beast. The demonic human raises its arm for a final devastating blow. It swings down with incredible force. But Kim Sun-woo's weapon blocks the attack, saving the woman. The monster turns its attention to the fleeing civilians. He knows a direct assault against a B-rank monster would be suicide. So he gathers his mana, preparing a precise, powerful spell, and unleashes it, aiming for the creature's weak point. The blast of light strikes the demonic human directly in the head. Kim Sun-woo watches, hoping his attack was enough, but his confident expression quickly fades. The monster's face is heavily damaged, but it's still standing. The wound begins to rapidly regenerate before his eyes. He realizes he failed to destroy the brain. Well, that's inconvenient. Enraged, the demonic human is enveloped in a sinister purple aura. It lunges forward, ready to tear him apart. Kim Sun-woo decides he has no choice but to use his trump card. He activates the Heart of Great Nature, boosting his mana recovery by 1,000%. He unleashes a relentless barrage of magic. The demonic human is pelted by the attacks, but it raises its arms, blocking the assault. The monster stands its ground, refusing to fall, so Kim Sun-woo just keeps firing. The beast endures the onslaught, blow after blow. He challenges it to keep blocking his attacks, and fires a concentrated beam, aiming for the head. The monster roars in agony as the spell connects. Kim Sun-woo thinks his strategy is working, but the blue aura around him begins to fade. He realizes his 1-minute buff has just run out. Talk about bad timing. The demonic human is still standing, its wounds already closing. It's now surrounded by a sinister red glow, stronger than ever. But just as it prepares to attack, a flash of steel appears. A powerful slash cuts clean through the monster's arm. Kim Sun-woo can only watch in stunned silence. The demonic human falls to pieces, finally defeated. The agent from before steps forward, the situation now under control. He thanks Kim Sun-woo and asks to see his license for the reward. Our boy hands over his perfectly forged ID. The agent is surprised to see he's only a C-class mage. Just then, 2 more figures arrive on the scene. Kim Sun-woo's face drops in pure panic. It's Lee Seo-jun and his best friend, Shin Young-jun. He internally screams, wondering why they took so long to show up. Lee Seo-jun watches the exchange, a sense of familiarity nagging at him. His eyes narrow, trying to place the mysterious mage. He takes a single, deliberate step forward, and Kim Sun-woo realizes his cover might be about to be blown. Lee Seo-jun asks the disguised man if he knows a Kim Sun-woo. His friend points out the resemblance, asking if they're related. Kim Sun-woo quickly denies it, feigning complete ignorance. The agent dismisses him, telling him to leave before he causes more trouble, but he still thanks him for his help in the fight. Lee Seo-jun's gaze lingers, a seed of suspicion already planted. Kim Sun-woo just plays it cool, saying he did what anyone would do. With a final bow, he makes his escape as a survivor thanks him for his life. He lets out a massive sigh of relief under the starry sky. That was way too close for comfort. But just then, a familiar blue window appears before him. The system confirms he's earned points for changing the story. And a new stat has appeared: causality. The system explains it's a resource gained by altering the main plot. A thought dawns on him. If he can change the story, he can save the hero. Another window explains authority, a power unlocked by spending causality. And the ultimate prize is Deus Ex Machina, the power to achieve any desire. He wonders if this means he can finally return to his own world. A memory of his old life flashes before his eyes. He smiles, his path now crystal clear. To save Lee Seo-jun and go home, he has to get involved. His resolve is stronger than ever before. A notification confirms a massive cash reward has been deposited. Well, saving the day has its perks. He decides to treat himself after a long and stressful day. His destination is a 5-star hotel, exclusive to mages. He walks through the grand lobby, recalling the Hansung Group's role in the novel. The staff greets him as he remembers their importance to the plot. He glances around, taking in the opulent surroundings. He recognizes a man as Han Se-jin, the vice chairman of the Hansung Group. An assistant informs the man that his younger sister will be joining them. The name Si-yeon rings a bell, and Kim Sun-woo's interest is piqued. Back in his hotel room, Kim Sun-woo surveys his loot. He smiles, looking over the spoils from his tower run. He decides to sell the spear, save the scroll, and take the herbs to Han Se-yeon. But to do that, he'll have to wait until morning. The next day, the morning news broadcast begins, and the top story is about a mysterious figure who cleared the Tower of Proof's hidden floor. A figure who also happened to subdue a demonic human right after. The Mage Association is praising the heroic actions of Kim Jin-woo. As people on the street buzz about the news, a familiar window appears. He's earned the Little Hero achievement and a massive 21,000 points. Talk about going viral. With his new identity now firmly established, it's time to pay a visit to Hansung Pharmaceuticals. The employees immediately recognize him as the man from the news. He walks through the lobby admitting that being famous isn't so bad. But then, his eyes lock onto a figure in the distance. It's Jang Soo-gi, an S-class mage known as the Sword of the Hansung family. He enters an office, where the occupant is stunned to see the hero from TV. He introduces himself as Kim Jin-woo, here to sell some herbs from the tower. The director is fascinated that the person of the hour has come to see her. She's Han Se-yeon, the youngest daughter of the Hansung Group, and she's intrigued by the herbs. She can feel their energy, but they lack the basic properties of a normal medicinal plant. She asks him how he figured out their true purpose. He plays it cool, claiming he studied medicine for a long time. He knows the holy herb only works by amplifying other ingredients. Han Se-yeon realizes the only way to use it is to give it to a genius. Like her. She cuts to the chase, asking what he wants in return. Kim Sun-woo holds up his hand, ready to make his demand. He asks for a 500 million won advance and a tiny fraction of the company's stock. She scoffs, assuming he doesn't understand the value of what he's asking for. But he calmly explains that once the herb is commercialized, those stocks will be priceless. But she flatly refuses, telling him shares are off the table. Kim Sun-woo smiles, having anticipated this, and makes his real request. He asks for VIP access to the underground auction and her procurement services. A sly grin spreads across her face, her interest now fully captured. She realizes he wants her to run errands for him. A bold move, asking a corporate heiress to be your gopher. In exchange, he offers to reveal her brother's greatest weakness. She's completely stunned by the audacity of his proposal. She accuses him of trying to take over her family's company. He simply tells her that's exactly what he wants. Elsewhere, a news report on Kim Jin-woo plays as a man announces a death. A red-haired man named Baek Kang listens, seething with regret. He insists they could have prevented the incident. His eyes glow with pure, unrestrained fury. He slams his fist down, shattering the ground in a fit of rage. His colleague tells him to calm down, explaining it was an order from above. He claims that interfering would have only put them in more danger. But Baek Kang is consumed by a dark aura, tired of hiding in the shadows. His eyes burn with a new purpose, to kill the man named Kim Jin-woo. His colleague asks if he'll be all right, since their target approached his client. Baek Kang just scoffs, completely confident in his abilities. He describes his client as a man who would betray his own family with a smile. The scene cuts to Han Se-yeon waving to that very man, her brother, Han Se-jin. He approaches with a smug, condescending smile. She greets him with a practiced smile of her own. Nothing like a warm family reunion. The two get into a limousine, the tension already palpable. He asks how she's handling the company work. She sighs, admitting that she's mentally exhausted. He suggests their father was too hasty in giving her company shares. He offers to take them from her, promising her a high position in return. Her expression darkens as she grips her phone, silently telling him to get lost. Kim Sun-woo relaxes, confident in his high-stakes gamble. He recalls his offer to reveal her brother's greatest weakness. He knew she was smart enough to verify his claims first. And just then, a notification arrives on his phone. Han Se-yeon agrees to his terms for 1 month. Guess she's his personal assistant now. The system confirms he's earned her trust and some points. He immediately puts her to work, requesting potions and a ticket. With the deal sealed, he's already planning his next move. But his new identity as Kim Jin-woo has a serious downside. He's now a prime target for the demonic humans seeking revenge. So he opens the shop, looking for a way to protect himself. He finds a few traits that can sense incoming danger. The killing intent detection trait seems perfect for the job, but the price tag is absolutely staggering. Still, he knows his life might very well depend on it. He bites the bullet and makes the expensive purchase. A few days later, his potions are ready for pickup. Han Se-yeon warns him the side effects are just as potent. The elixir offers a massive boost, but with a heavy cost. She can't help but find his request deeply suspicious, and she's still wondering how he knew her brother's secrets. She admits that her own investigation confirmed his shocking claims. She always knew her brother had a dark side, but she never imagined he was involved in such atrocities. He knows the answer lies in the novel he read. Han Se-jin was always destined to become a major villain, but he can't tell her that, so he makes another outrageous demand. She scoffs, seeing right through his clever deflection. He changes the subject, asking about the arena ticket. She explains there's a catch, they have to go together. She calls him crazy for even suggesting it. And just like that, she declares their deal is over. But Kim Sun-woo just smiles, completely unfazed. He picks up an ornate rabbit mask from the table and vows to win back her trust before the night is over. They arrive at a heavily guarded, undisclosed location. An attendant in a blank white mask greets them at the entrance. He places a purple VIP wristband on Kim Sun-woo's arm and welcomes him back as if he's a regular. Kim Sun-woo is stunned, recognizing the man before him. A figure in a red demonic mask approaches them down the hall. It's Ha Rayong, an S-class demonic human and a major villain. Kim Sun-woo knew he'd be here, of course, because this top-tier villain is the organizer of the entire arena. The man wishes them a pleasant time with a sinister smile. Kim Sun-woo watches him go, deciding to keep a very low profile. They enter a massive underground hall buzzing with energy. The masked crowd watches from the stands, their identities hidden. Han Se-yeon notes the excitement is because of a fighter named Yang Hongju. Kim Sun-woo looks on, intrigued by the name. She explains he's the reigning champion, practically an A-class fighter, but she points out that betting on the favorite won't make them any money. To make a real profit, you have to take a real risk. Kim Sun-woo approaches an attendant, ready to place his bet. He declares the amount, a staggering 530 million, and bets it all on the champion's opponent. The attendant is left completely speechless by the insane wager. Han Se-yeon asks if he's lost his mind. She tells him the opponent is a complete rookie making his debut. The scene cuts to a red mask resting on a table, waiting for its owner. Elsewhere, the arena's manager is informed of the massive bet. His subordinate explains the guest was wearing a rabbit mask. The manager recalls the VIP who entered earlier. He dismisses it as a rich man with poor taste. Suddenly, a voice shouts in disbelief. Baek Kang stands up hearing the name Kim Jin-woo. He's told his target is at the arena with Han Se-yeon. A sinister smile spreads across his face, glad to finally have a lead. He immediately orders his car to be prepared. Tonight, he will finally get his revenge. Back in the arena, the first match is already underway. One of the fighters surrenders, begging for his life. But his opponent shows no mercy, delivering a final blow. The announcer declares the winner of the brutal opening match. The victor raises his hand to a roaring crowd, but some spectators are furious, having lost their bets. They scream at the defeated fighter as he's dragged away. Han Se-yeon remarks on the sheer brutality of the underground scene. But Kim Sun-woo knows the organizers won't let things get fatal. He waits patiently for the main event to begin. The screen displays the matchup and the total bets for each fighter. The announcer hypes the crowd, revealing the massive sums on the line. Kim Sun-woo just smiles, confident in his risky wager. The crowd whispers, calling him a fool for betting on the rookie. He lets them talk, knowing he's about to win 6 times his investment. The champion Yang Hongju finally makes his entrance, and his opponent Liang steps into the light. Han Se-yeon is shocked by the massive difference in their builds. Kim Sun-woo admits the rookie is a bit skinnier than he remembered, because he knows this boy will one day join a major villain group. He just wanted to see the future villain's combat style for himself. But he calms his nerves, remembering a key detail from the novel. In the original story, Liang was never defeated in this arena. The champion scoffs, powering up to face his seemingly weak opponent. He lunges forward, promising to end the fight in an instant. He closes the distance in a flash of blue energy. The rookie can only watch as the attack comes flying in. The champion lands a devastating blow to his chest and sends him flying backward across the arena floor. Liang slides to a stop, seemingly outmatched. Kim Sun-woo watches, his confidence suddenly wavering. Maybe insider trading isn't a sure thing after all. Meanwhile, a car speeds through the city streets. Inside, Baek Kang thinks about his target's location. He knows he can't just barge in and disrupt Ha Rayong's event. He asks his driver when the arena will close for the night. A sinister smile spreads across his face, his plan now set. Back in the ring, Liang Liang endures a brutal assault. The champion continues his relentless barrage of attacks. He lands another powerful blow, determined to end it. He tells the rookie to know his place, and follows up with a devastating kick. Liang Liang is sent crashing into the arena wall. He slumps to the ground, seemingly defeated. The champion raises his arm in victory as the crowd roars his name. Kim Sun-woo can only stare in disbelief. The champion smirks, savoring his win. But just then, a blade pierces clean through his chest. He looks down, stunned by the sudden, fatal wound. His eyes widen in pure shock and pain, and Liang Liang stands before him, a terrifying grin on his face. The champion looks down in rage and disbelief. Liang Liang reveals his true power, his hands now deadly claws. He unleashes a storm of shadowy spikes. The champion is completely overwhelmed by the attack. His eyes go blank as his life fades away. He stumbles backward, his body giving out, and collapses onto the arena floor, defeated. The crowd is left in stunned silence. Well, that escalated quickly. The spectators can't believe what just happened. They question if the champion really lost. Even Han Se-yeon is completely speechless. The losing bettors erupt in a furious uproar. Kim Sun-woo calmly announces it's time to go. He heads for the exit as she rushes to follow. But the arena's organizer finds this outcome far too convenient. He believes the rookie only won because the champion was careless. But he senses a clear intent behind that massive bet. He summons his subordinate, Chief Young, and orders him to investigate the mysterious winner. In the car, Han Se-yeon demands to know how he knew. He just smiles and chalks it up to instinct. He checks his phone, knowing today was a total jackpot. His bank balance has skyrocketed to over 3 billion won. He's also earned a new achievement and regained her trust. Her interest in him has officially leveled up. He's already making back the points he spent on his new trait. And just then, that very trait activates. He's suddenly detecting a powerful killing intent nearby. He tries to pinpoint the source of the threat. And he remembers a demonic human from the novel Seeking Revenge. He turns to Han Se-yeon with a serious expression and asks her for a small favor. Their car comes to a sudden stop on a deserted road. Baek Kang's driver reports that their target has stopped. The villain smirks, ordering his own car to a halt. He steps out, vowing to end Kim Jin-woo right here. He notices that Han Se-yeon is nowhere in sight. He analyzes his target, sensing a weak body and low energy. Kim Sun-woo prepares to drink the elixir he requested. He downs the potion in a single gulp. The taste is awful, but the effect is immediate. A surge of blue mana envelops him as he calls out his stalker. Baek Kang is surprised, but still considers the power insignificant. He steps forward, impressed by the kid's awareness. He summons 3 fiery spears ready to attack, and unleashes them with a furious roar. Kim Sun-woo calmly gathers his own mana. He fires a concentrated blast to counter the first spear. The 2 attacks collide in a massive explosion. Baek Kang smirks, reminding him he still has 2 more. The remaining spears rain down on Kim Sun-woo. A massive explosion rocks the empty road. From a safe distance, Han Se-yeon watches the battle begin. Her expression is a mix of worry and resolve. She recalls him telling her they were being followed. She'd asked if it was a rival from the Hansung group. He'd simply replied it was something like that. A master of understatement. He then asked her to find a secluded spot to face him. She questioned if he could win, and he admitted it'd be tough. His opponent's power was immense, far beyond B-class. Her car speeds away from the scene. She decides to put her faith in his skills, and silently wishes for his safety. Back on the road, Kim Sun-woo dodges another fiery assault. He smirks, thinking this is easier than it looks. After all, he was an enhancement mage in his first year. Baek Kang scoffs, tired of the cat and mouse game. He decides to end this with his next attack, and unleashes a massive volley of flaming spears. Guess he's not a fan of subtlety. Kim Sun-woo realizes his opponent has gotten faster. He braces himself, dodging the relentless barrage. Baek Kang grows frustrated by his incredible agility. Kim Sun-woo knows he has less than 2 minutes on the potion. He decides it's time to settle this once and for all. He begins to gather a sphere of concentrated mana and activates his trump card, the Heart of Great Nature. Baek Kang is stunned by the sudden surge of power. Kim Sun-woo's aura flares, his energy now overwhelming. He channels the immense power into his legs and launches himself forward like a blue comet. Baek Kang senses the immense danger of the attack. He knows he has to block it, no matter the cost. Kim Sun-woo closes the distance in an instant. The villain is shocked by his incredible speed. He swings his flaming spear to defend himself. But Kim Sun-woo is ready with a counter of his own. He gathers a massive ball of mana in his hand and unleashes it in a devastating point-blank blast. The attack shatters the spear and sends Baek Kang flying. Kim Sun-woo knows he can't give him an opening to recover. His eyes glow, a plan forming in an instant. He grabs the villain by the collar, closing the distance, and unleashes a point-blank blast of pure mana. Baek Kang can only struggle against the overwhelming force. Kim Sun-woo declares that this is the end. The villain's eyes go wide, his body racked with pain, but he still hasn't fallen. And Kim Sun-woo remembers the potion's nasty side effect. He realizes his time is just about up. Talk about a buzzkill. Baek Kang begins to recover, his body crackling with dark energy. He summons a new, more powerful flaming spear. His eyes burn with a furious, demonic light. He raises the weapon, ready to deliver the final blow. But just then, a flash of light cuts through the darkness. A powerful figure appears, blocking the attack with a massive sword. Kim Sun-woo can only stare in stunned silence. His backup has finally arrived. It's Jang Soo-gi, the S-class sword of the Hansung family. He stands over the defeated villain without breaking a sweat. Kim Sun-woo smiles, recognizing one of the novel's strongest characters. A man who could defeat an A-class threat in a single strike. The swordsman questions how a mere demonic human dared to touch his charge. Just then, Han Se-yeon rushes onto the scene. She checks on him as he admits he was just stalling for time. She smiles, explaining that she brought the strongest person she could find. Jang Soo-gi looks on with a quiet, approving smirk. The system confirms his success, awarding him points and causality. He can't help but feel a little proud of his perfectly executed plan. Jang Soo-gi asks if he should report the incident to the chairman. He notes that a demonic human attack is no ordinary matter, but Han Se-yeon advises against reporting the incident. Kim Sun-woo explains it would cause chaos if the public knew. She considers his point, realizing he's right. They all agree to keep the attack a secret. Jang Soo-gi bows, accepting his lady's command. 3 days later, Kim Sun-woo relaxes in his room. He recalls Han Se-yeon's promise to get him any information he needed, and the information he requested was the release date of her new potion. He's invested his entire fortune in Hansung Pharmaceuticals stock. He watches the clock, waiting for the market to open. At 9:00 a.m. sharp, the stock price skyrockets. He celebrates wildly as his investment pays off. Insider trading for the win. He remembers his past life fighting endlessly for scraps. To think making money could be this easy feels almost wrong. He looks at his phone, a new plan already forming. A message arrives from Han Se-yeon, offering him a gift. Kim Sun-woo is intrigued by the unexpected offer. The next day, he arrives at a stylish cafe. Han Se-yeon is already there, noting his early arrival. He approaches her table, still in his Kim Jin-woo disguise. She asks how much he made from the stock tip, guessing a modest amount. He reveals he made $3 billion in a single day, leaving her speechless. He thanks her for the help and asks about the gift. She slides a photo across the table, having identified their attacker. The man's name is Baek Kang, a notorious hitman. But her investigation uncovered a much deeper conspiracy. The person who hired the hitman was her own brother, Han Se-jin. Kim Sun-woo already knew her brother was a villain, but this is a new detail. She calls him out for being so calculating, even after they saved each other. She pushes a small box toward him, revealing the true gift. He asks if something is happening since she'll be busy. She explains that with her brother linked to the attack, she can't let the grudge go unsettled. She stands, her mind clearly made up. But Kim Sun-woo knows she's mistaken about her brother's involvement. Still, Han Se-jin is a villain who will eventually stand in her way. So using her to get to him isn't a bad plan. The enemy of my enemy is my business partner, I guess. She snaps him out of his thoughts, calling his name, and wishes him well with the gift she chose. He holds the small, elegantly wrapped box. He offers a polite smile and thanks her. Inside is a sleek silver mana alloy bracelet. He looks genuinely pleased with his new high-end accessory. Later, he sits alone, examining his new gift. A strange system window appears before him. It confirms a user named Han Ji-hyuk and awards him points for piquing Ha Ryong's curiosity. The scene shifts to a dark office where Ha Ryong himself sits. He waits patiently at his massive desk. A man in a dark suit bows deeply, greeting him. Ha Ryong asks if this is about the Ten Demon Alliance. The man confirms it is, but has another matter to discuss first. He brings up the recent deaths of his friends, including Baek Kang, and reveals that a single human mage is tied to both incidents. A mage who also recently visited the arena. Ha Ryong's expression hardens as he asks about the name Kim Jin-woo. He remembers the man in the rabbit mask, the same VIP who made that impossible bet. The camera pans up to a chandelier, the tension rising. The man's eyes glow as he demands information, vowing revenge. But Ha Ryong unleashes his own power, forcing the man to his knees. He warns the man that if he lays a hand on his customer, he had better be prepared for the consequences. The subordinate immediately begs for forgiveness. Ha Rayong dismisses him, demanding the message from the 10-demon alliance. The man explains that a prophecy has been revealed. A child with the power of exorcism will awaken on their 18th birthday and bring about the end of the king of demonic humans. Ha Rayong seems concerned, asking for more information. The subordinate reveals the child's current location. It's none other than the Magic Academy. Of course it is. Back in his room, Kim Sun-woo contemplates his next move. He decides to lay low as Kim Jin-woo for a while. A system window confirms Ha Rayong's curiosity has earned him more points. He knows it's not time to get involved with that villain just yet. He picks up the scroll, focusing on a more immediate matter. The ancient parchment unfurls with a magical glow. It's a B-rank spell shield, capable of blocking a single magic attack. His thoughts turn to the upcoming midterm exam. It's an event where students prove their skills to important officials. He knows it's a crucial moment for Lee Seo-jun's future career. But the real reason it's important is the child of prophecy, a future comrade of the hero, born with the power of exorcism. To flush out this unawakened child, demonic humans are set to invade the school. In the original story, Lee Seo-jun handles them with ease. Kim Sun-woo knows this is a key foreshadowing event. This time, he'll have to watch both the hero and the prophesied child. An instructor gathers the students for an announcement. The students groan, already tired of the exam schedule. The instructor laughs, enjoying their yearly tradition of complaining. But even so, Kim Sun-woo can't help but notice that no one has asked to be his partner. He admits it's not surprising, given his reputation. After all, who would want to team up with the last-place student? But he's not worried in the slightest, because he's already decided who his partner will be. Elsewhere, Lee Seo-jun unleashes a fiery attack in a sparring match. He lands with enough force to crack the arena floor. He catches his breath, admitting it was a close call. But Yua-ra mocks him, declaring the top spot is now hers. Lee Seo-jun's eyes glow with renewed determination. He tells her not to get ahead of herself, because he's only just getting started. The rivalry is heating up, literally. In a quiet training hall, Yoon Ha-young practices alone. She glances out the window, watching the intense battle. The school's top 2 rankers are locked in a fierce duel. She looks down at the small ice crystals in her own hand and tells herself to look away, feeling pathetic in comparison. Nearby, 2 students consider asking her to spar, but they quickly dismiss the idea, calling her weak in practice. They pity her, saying her brain is smarter than her body. Yoon Ha-young overhears their every word, her expression hardening. She unleashes her frustration in a flurry of ice shards. The attack strikes a training dummy with little effect. She lets out a sigh of pure exasperation and wonders why her hard work never seems to be enough. Just then, a voice calls out her sloppy technique. She turns to see Kim Sun-woo standing behind her. He continues his critique, pointing out her lack of power and accuracy. He concludes that her fundamentals are simply too weak. Talk about a warm welcome. He explains that this is him taking responsibility for his actions. In the original story, Yoon Ha-young was supposed to grow stronger, but his interference caused her to miss that chance and stagnate. So he offers to team up, promising to make her grow. But she's not buying it, questioning his true motives. She accuses him of putting her down to hide his own weakness. Kim Sun-woo just shrugs, completely unfazed by the insult. He suggests she's only angry because she can't deny his words. And that's the final straw, as she grabs him by the collar. She tells him she was wrong to think he was a decent person. He realizes he might have pushed the tough love act a little too far. But she channels her rage, challenging him to a match right then and there. He grins, delighted that he finally got the reaction he wanted.